The Oakland Athletics 2013 regular season begins right now. It is opening night at the O.Co Coliseum. The A's and their fans are ready to defend their AL Western Division title from last year. They got the Manager of the Year, Bob Melvin, and they got a superstar in the making in Yoenis Cespedes. And they got a fan base that is ready to come out, get crazy, and support this team. Opening night, the Mariners and the Athletics. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball, along with Ray Foss. Again, Glenn Kuiper. Welcome to this 2013 season, a season that is full of high expectations after what happened last year. Ray, and one of the reasons there's expectations is there's a lot of talent on this team. Nobody more talented than Yoenis Cespedes.
You know, the A's have been trying to get the right-handed power hitter for a long time. Well, they have him, and he showed what he did last year, hitting home runs, playing a great left field. He's already started it this spring. They said he could not hit an off-speed pitch. Tim Lincecum thinks differently because he got him a curveball in Scottsdale and a couple of breaking balls, one over in San Francisco, one here. The off-speed pitch has been crushed by Yoenis Cespedes. He knows he is strong. He knows he's capable of having an even better season than he had last year.
Well, on opening night, you should have a marquee pitching matchup, and we have one. Brett Anderson, Felix Hernandez. Now, we know all about Felix Hernandez, but Brett Anderson, let's not forget how important he was down the stretch.
Well, down the stretch, he was phenomenal, but he also has had a great record against the Seattle Mariners throughout his career. But for him to come back after Tommy John surgery, pitch as effectively as he did, and then win the biggest game for the Athletics, Game 3, was just unbelievable. But how about 175? That's what the Mariners have paid this young man, and those are millions for him to stay in the Mariners uniform for the rest of his career. 6th opening day start for King Felix, 5th in a row. Not surprising that the A's have to face one of the best pitchers in the American League, if not of all baseball.
Well, I tell you what, a long spring training is over. The pregame festivities are over. We just need to play some baseball. We are psyched and we are ready to go from the O.Co Coliseum on opening night. It's the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. Should be a good one.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new Hot Mess Burger today. It's loaded with spicy jalapenos, onion rings, and gooey pepper jack cheese.
Brett Anderson and the Athletics take the field, looking very clean in the all-white uniforms tonight. The crowd worked up into a frenzy. Well, probably about since 2 o'clock or so this afternoon. They are having fun, and they have been looking forward to this.
Maybe 5 months.
Wow. Oh, that's true.
Since last October.
Let's check the game time weather for tonight, presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily for spring break. It's a nice night, 64 degrees, kind of rainy yesterday and even into the morning in the Bay Area, but it's turned out to be a very nice day and then a nice cool evening at the ballpark. So throw your A's sweatshirt on or your A's jacket. You'll be plenty warm and enjoy opening night from the Coliseum. The Seattle Mariners in town. This is the lineup with a lot of new names. Gutierrez, Saunders, and then in the middle, Kendrys Morales, Mike Morris. A couple of pretty good hitters added. Smoke will hit fifth, and Seager, Montero, Hackley, and Ryan. That is the Seattle Mariners starting lineup.
And it is Brett Anderson on the mound for the Athletics, and as we mentioned, great numbers against Seattle. His first ever opening day start. Yes, he said he's a little bit nervous, but it's amazing when guys go down in the bullpen and they get ready for a game. They forget about all the nervousness. For him, it's just one of maybe 35. We hope 35 starts on the season, but hard slider down and in, which is a great pitch for him, especially so many righties in the lineup tonight.
So Franklin Gutierrez, the center fielder, steps in, and Brett Anderson is about to throw the first pitch of the 2013 season. A fastball in for a strike.
First pitch.
You'd have to think with John Jaso catching, a former Mariner, acquired by the Athletics from the Mariners, he's going to be saying hello to everybody when they come to the plate. He knows all these guys. And Gutierrez, of course, he knows he had some health problems in the past. He is healthy again and leading off for Eric Wedge.
And behind in the count, 0-2. Saunders will be next, and then Kendrys Morales. Crowd still filing in. Obviously a sellout. It's been sold out for a while, but a lot of tailgating going on, so people working their way into the ballpark. Great atmosphere as we expected. 0-2 pitch.
There it is.
Breaking ball, nasty, swing and a miss. So 3 pitches. Gutierrez strikes out, and that's out number 1. The A's defense tonight has Cespedes in left, Crisp in center, Reddick in right, Donaldson and Lowry on the left side, Sogard and Moss on the right side, and John Jaso, as Ray said, is the catcher.
And John Jaso, very important for the ball club tonight, especially catching Brett Anderson. That hard breaking ball, the one that he struck out Gutierrez, was up a little bit. He likes to throw it to the back foot a lot of times in the dirt, and that's where Jason's going to have to block it. And here's the pitch we're talking about, the breaking ball to the back foot of the right-hander, and it looks like a strike. That might have been anyway. He did swing and miss, but an excellent pitch for the left-hander Brett Anderson.
Fastball a little outside. Saunders playing right field. Mariners think with some of the offensive additions they have made, they will be better this year. Last year they were 75 and 87, and scoring runs has been a major issue for the Mariners for about 5 years now.
You look at him, Raul Ibanez is one of the nicest, greatest guys in all of baseball. And Ibanez signing is with the Yankees and had some huge home runs for the Yankees last season. Eric Wedge, 3rd season. Managed in Cleveland, took a year off, now is the manager for the Mariners.
Drops a little bit low. 67 and 95 in 2011, and then, as I said, 75 and 87 last year, so a little bit of an improvement. 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Anderson with the breaking ball.
Now the amazing thing, and there are times where Brett Anderson's so effective against right-handers. He gets a lefty, goes to 3-2, but not afraid to come back with a breaking pitch on 3-2. No way in the world Saunders had to be thinking, my first at bat of the new season, I'm going to 3-2 hook. And not only was it a swing and miss, but another perfect strike. in the strike zone, the breaking pitch by Brett Anderson.
Plenty of starts for Anderson against these Seattle Mariners.
Well, here's one of the biggest additions, Kendrys Morales. Cost him Jason Vargas, the starting pitcher, but they get the powerful switch hitter, formerly the Angels, and now in the uniform of the Seattle Mariners. So the power and the additional offense you talked about, this might be their biggest acquisition.
Morales, he's a switch hitter. Finally got healthy and was able to play a full season last year. 22 home runs and 73 RBIs in 134 games for the Angels.
We saw it Game 5 of the division series. Here they go again. You would think that it's all over again in October. Here we go.
So Anderson strikes out the side on breaking balls in the first inning. Not a bad start for the A's. They'll come to bat in the bottom of the first. And let's take a look at the lineup, which, as usual, Coco Chris will lead off, followed by John Jaso, and then Reddick, Cespedes, Lowry, Moss, Donaldson, Smith, and Sogar.
They call him the King in Seattle, and rightfully so. King Felix Hernandez, and 13 wins last season, and there was talk that perhaps when Felix was a free agent, he might move back east, but the Mariners stepped in. 7-year contract for Felix Hernandez, and remember, he's only, what, 27? He'll soon be turned 27, and still a young man, and a very, very good pitcher with a good fastball, curveball, slider, a couple of different sliders, and also a very, very good two-seamer.
His first pitch is a bit outside to Coco Crisp. 11 home runs and 46 RBIs to go along with the 39 steals last year for Crisp. He hits one to right, hit pretty well. Saunders going back, but he's going to have just enough room, and he makes the catch. So Coco just missed it, 1 out. The Mariners defense behind Felix Hernandez has Morse in left, Gutierrez in center, Saunders in right. Seager, Ryan, Ackley, Smoke around the infield with Jesus Montero doing the catching.
Well, we have seen Felix Hernandez back in the mid-2000s when he first joined the Mariners as a teenager, and think about him, and he's been pretty consistent. If you have a chance to get him early, you better do it, because he will get better. He's one of those pitchers that gets better with the time of the game. I don't think the fact that he signed a 7-year contract that at one time was the highest paid, and then Justin Verlander eclipsed him by a little bit. But he's good, but this guy caught him last year, caught his perfect game.
Breaking ball, Jaso pops it shallow center, where Ryan, the shortstop, is back there, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up the bearded one, Josh Reddick.
Batting in the third position, right fielder, number 16, Josh Reddick.
So Reddick gets a big cheer, and why not? 32 home runs last year and a Gold Glove.
I thought it was great as the players were introduced. They ran out in the midst of several season ticket holders, long-time season ticket holders, and Josh Reddick, of course, one of the loudest ovations from this fan base.
That was a nice gesture by the Athletics, kind of thinking about the theme from last year, which was kind of the relationship between the players and the fans. It's really something we'll always remember. Good hard breaking ball from Hernandez, and he jumps ahead 0-2. Cespedes would be next. Reddick in his career against Hernandez, 4 for 22. Does not have a home run. Lifts this one to shallow left where Michael Morse in and over. He's got it, and a pretty easy inning for Felix Hernandez. A good start for both pitchers. No score after one. And struck out the side, all swinging in the first inning. And the swinging strikeout pitch was the breaking ball. And throws a first pitch fastball to Michael Morse. Very powerful right-handed hitter, acquired in a three-team trade with the Nationals, and the Athletics were actually part of that trade. That's how the Athletics got John Jason.
Morse originally with the Mariners, and great season with the Nationals. But I think the Mariners very happy to get Mitchell Morales, but definitely Morris from the right side.
You know, Ray, this is the kind of guy they really needed.
Yeah. Well, how many times last year did we see Jesus Montero hitting seventh?
That's exactly right.
So it's difference in the positioning by Eric Wedge. Some of the youngsters he could put down in the order that he had in the middle of the batting order last season.
Morris last year was banged up. He missed the beginning of the season. Ended up playing in 102 games and hit 18 home runs. But it was 2011 when he had the big year for the Nationals. He had 303 with 31 homers and 95 RBIs. And he swings and misses on a breaking ball. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Brett Anderson.
Saturday, April 13th, when the A's play the Tigers, 10,000 fans will get an A's American League West Division Championship fleece blanket, and it's presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Stay warm at A's games all season long with this great commemorative blanket. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
One out for the switch hitter Justin Smoke. 4 batters faced, 4 swinging strikeouts. Frontwards K means they swung and missed. Backwards means they were looking. Right now, the Mariners aren't making a whole lot of contact.
Well, Brett Anderson showing what's kind of the pattern for the A's pitching staff, and that is get the ball and throw it. Don't waste a lot of time. And second 3-ball count. Morris swing and miss and a strikeout.
Pitch is poured in there first, right? Kyle Seager, left-handed hitter, will be next for Seattle.
Yeah, as a hitter, you got to be thinking, okay, he's got to come back with another fastball. But after the 3-2 breaking pitch to Saunders, Smoke maybe cannot stay very aggressive.
It's high, so there's the first base runner in this ball game, and it's a walk to Justin Smoke.
Well, he has not been acquired, but Justin Smoke has been with the came over from Texas a few years ago, but he definitely is a player that they would like to see produce at first base. And this guy, Seager, did well, but Smoke is the one guy who's got to get a chance to play first base. Switch hitter, powerful, and with the fences in a little bit shorter in Seattle Safeco Field.
Well, we've said it for a couple years now, Ray. The Mariners desperately need Smoke to become an impact hitter. And he has not been that yet. Kyle Seager was the MVP last year for the Mariners. Terrific season. 20 homers, 86 RBIs. And I don't want to say it was unexpected, but he did come out of nowhere a little bit.
He did, and he does not want to be Dustin Ackley of 2011.
Struggle.
2011 he was great. 2012 not so much, but second year. But Ackley down in the lower part of the batting order.
1-1 to Seager. Breaking ball hit off of Anderson. It rolls towards short. Lowry has it, throws off balance, and he cannot get anybody. So it'll be a hit. Let's hope Brett Anderson's okay. Kind of did a kick save.
Yeah, it's too bad it hit him because it was going to be a double play. I think the A's had positioned Seager in such a way that had the ball gone through. Look where Lowry's playing up the middle. He was going over to field the ball and carried off Anderson. At that point, no chance for Lowry to get him, but the positioning, of course, not much. I don't know that it's just his follow through, like off his left foot. An unintentional kick save, kicking off his foot, but the way he followed through, I don't know that he could have avoided being hit.
So Brett's okay.
Watch the follow through for Brett Anderson, and when he followed through, here comes the ball right there off his left foot. And again, Lowry was up the middle, ready to maybe even take it himself to get out of the inning. So the first danger for Brett Anderson, he's got the powerful Montero, who, as we have seen, Yankees and Mariners, great opposite field power.
He gets a first pitch breaking ball and rolls it foul. Montero is catching tonight. Last year he DH'd a lot, caught some, but the Mariners wanted him to improve behind the plate. And quite frankly, for him to improve, he's got to play back there.
That's right. Yeah, they were going to take the time, but time is now, especially with John Jaso no longer there.
But he's a powerful bat in the middle of the lineup and still just 23 years old, so he has a chance to be an impact bat. That one hit up the middle on the dive. Sogard flips it, and they're going to get the out at first. Although Sogard's intention, I think, was to flip it to Lowry and hope Lowry was at second base. But when it was all said and done, the out was recorded at first. Montero thought he had himself a base hit, but a nice play by Sogard.
Well, at 23 there, your catcher's wheels, but what a great play. The flip, you're right there, but the fact that Lowry was able to take the flip by Sogard, he was not at the bag. No way that he could get it all the way to second, but Lowry continued. He knew he had a catcher running, and what a great play by Sogard to Lowry, and then on to barely get Montero down the line, running as hard as he could, but just not fast enough.
So second and third, 2 outs for Ackley, who takes way inside, almost hit him.
What a great play in Exmo. There's the flip, and just so hard, even though with a small second baseman's glove, but still great play by Lowry. Great reaction. I think Montero slowed down, thought he had a base hit and an RBI.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Anderson's going to get out of it. Coco has it. Side retired. So the Mariners strand a pair. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Cespedes, Lowry, and Moss. On Vancouver right now on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, which can be found on Comcast channels 104 and 780, DirecTV channel 699, Dish Network channel 449, and AT&T channel 768. If you can't find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, log on to csncalifornia.com or call your local cable operator. So the Sharks and the Canucks will get going at 7:30. So just a couple of minutes.
Kind of a delay of game, and home place umpire Dana DeMuth looked at the on-deck circle and said, why is all that stuff still out there? You have the donut, all the paraphernalia for the hitters. Well, it was left out there by the Mariners bat boy, and Dana DeMuth said, we cannot have that in play. So he had to call somebody from the bench, and somebody whose job description did not include picking up all the stuff from the on-deck circle. It's called to keep the game going.
First pitch to Yoenis Cespedes is a fastball for strike.
These are the challenges that hitters love, facing the best pitcher, and from King Felix Hernandez, he's thinking the same thing about one of the best hitters in the American League.
Breaking ball chopped toward third, and that is out number one.
And at this rate, Felix is not going to be coming out of this game very soon for the pitch count, because the A's, because he's throwing strikes, have to swing, as Cespedes did after being behind 0-1.
7 in the first inning, right?
Yep. 6 strikes. So, I mean, he's throwing first pitch strikes. Look at that. 26 starts. He's 13-6. 5 starts with a 1 and 2 last year. Of course, remember, he started in Tokyo, started here, started in Seattle. He's had 3 openers against the Mariners last year.
Well, this is the 4th consecutive year the A's have opened up against the Mariners. And if you've opened up against the Mariners in the last 5-6 years, you're going to face Felix. The problem is the A's have lost 8 consecutive openers. How the heck does that happen?
Facing King Felix.
That's true.
5 times. The Mariners have won 6 straight home openers. So streaks will continue. The A's would like to break theirs. So with the manager, Bob Melvin. Managing general partner Lou Wolf said, as long as I've owned the club, I've not had an opening night win. And I said, change the schedule.
He deserves
Get rid of Seattle and King Felix. Yeah, he deserves a win. Of course, he will never forget clinching the division in 2006 in his first year. And on the steps of Safeco Field, welcoming all the players in after the championship, winning the division.
Shot foul by Lowry.
The Cap, we talked on Saturday in our telecast, and the completion of the exhibition season, the longest of probably forever. All those numbers would be wiped clean tonight, and indeed they have. They're all zeros starting tonight. So hitters now looking for the first hit. Teams looking for the first win.
Swing and a miss on a pitch that was down and away from Lowry. This is 2011, the opener, and Felix Hernandez got in a groove about midway through that game, and he just rolled right on through, and it ended up being a complete game. Nasty stuff.
Yeah, he was trailing 2-0 in the first inning. Josh Willingham's a 2-run home run, and from the second through the 7th, retired everybody, faced the minimum.
Ray mentioned that Hernandez, 26 years old, he will be 27 a week from today, so still a youngster.
Well, that's why they could afford to give him the lengthy contract they did, the Mariners, to keep him in a Mariners uniform. And everybody knew in the Western Division, we're talking to A's players, he said this young kid is pitching, that means you're going to face him a lot. And he has the chance of facing the A's 6 times each year, because that's how many times the two clubs face each other. 3 here, 3 in Seattle.
The Mariners signed Hernandez when he was 16 years old. That was in 2002. He got to the big leagues when he was 19. And I remember you started hearing about him in the minor leagues. The Mariners said, I think we got a special one on the way, and it did not take long to realize just how good he is. He's now in his 8th year already. Can you believe that?
That is hard to believe.
He's closing in on 100 career wins. He's got 98. It's 98 and 76 in his career. And that's nasty stuff there. Back-to-back strikeouts. So 6 up, 6 down for Felix Hernandez. We are scoreless after 2. And Hernandez, no score, top of the 3rd. The value deck up on top of us. Not a whole lot of empty seats tonight here at the Coliseum. Anderson will face Brendan Ryan, and then the top of the order, Gutierrez and Saunders. Brendan Ryan very, very good defensively. In fact, a lot of people think he's the best defensive shortstop in the American League. Did not win the Gold Glove last year, but maybe should have.
Well, he is so good that Eric Wedge can not worry about his batting average, and especially with the offense they have this year, the improved offense, he really should be less of a worry at all. I mean, he still wants to hit, still wants to contribute. Bottom line, play defense. You can save a lot of runs that way. He'll come up with some big hits also.
He's had some big hits against the A's.
Graham Godfrey last season. Unfortunately, on a Sunday afternoon after Eric Sogard had tied at 3, a 3-run home run, but
runs outside 3-1.
And when you're hitting in the position, you're hitting 8th or 9th. You know that anything you do to contribute to this offense is going to be a bonus. And again, to play defense is he and Ackley in a double play combination hitting 8th and 9th.
Fastball just a bit outside. So Anderson walks the leadoff man and the 9th place hitter.
Time now for the Ford right choice. And Brett Anderson started his 2013 season, his first ever opening night start, and gets strikeout with the first batter. Strikeout on a 3-2 to Saunders, a breaking ball for a strikeout. He gets Morales to finish the first inning on a breaking ball, and then starts the second with Michael Morris, another strikeout. So 4 consecutive strikeouts to start this game. Now has walked 2 though, and unfortunately walks the 9th place hitter to lead off the 3rd inning.
Well, here is Gutierrez. Grounds it fair, backhanded by Donaldson. His throw, Sogard digs out to get the force at second base. So Sogard hung in there. You got to keep your foot on the bag, worry about the runner, and then dig the ball out of the dirt.
Well, you have to just think about 1 out. And Josh Donaldson, his first place, foul territory, running across backwards, and right there, Sogard saying, let me be a first baseman. Catch the ball, keep my foot on the bag, show the umpire, and not worry about a double play. But you're right about Brendan Ryan coming in hard at second base. The first of everything. You can do everything you want in spring training, but the first game, the first throw, the first hit, the first everything. And what I'm saying about the butterflies, if you don't have the butterflies tonight, you don't need to be here. I got them, do you?
A little bit. I asked Ed Montague. I said, Ed, of course, the longtime umpire who's now a supervisor, and he's here all the time. I said, did you get a little bit nervous when opening night? He said, yeah. Heck yeah, I did. First pitcher. Struck out the first 4 hitters of the game in Oakland A's opening day history. One to 0 to Saunders.
How many games did Eddie Montague have umpire behind the plate? Better than he was. He had to have a few, because the crew chiefs usually get the home plate the first game of the season.
That one bounced towards Sogard. He's got it. And that's another play for 6-3. Side retired. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Bottom 3 for the A's. Donaldson, Smith, and Sogard.
opening day, and you really want to respond for him. Of course, we're going to get Felix Hernandez again, but you know, it is what it is. But you'd really like to play well on opening day, and I probably have a little more nerves on opening day than any other day.
So, Bob Melvin lets us know that he's got some nerves as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably gone now.
As early as he got to the park today, you'd think they'd be gone by now. This is probably the most relaxing time for a manager after getting through all the hoopla on opening night, opening game, and then standing in the dugout and get to manage. And, that's the easy part in a sense, but he is wanting to win every game that he manages.
0-1 to Donaldson, 0-2 to Donaldson. Looks like Hernandez has everything in his arsenal working tonight. And we've seen him enough where we've seen him at times not be sharp. Looks like he is tonight.
Well, I would think, and one thing Felix Hernandez said when he signed his 7-year contract extension, he said he does not want to disappoint anybody in Seattle. Fans, especially, makes his home in Seattle in the offseason. And it just seems like tonight that intensity is there a little bit more. Not that he doesn't have it normally, but every pitch he's finishing as if he wants to make sure every pitch is just perfect. And the one thing I hope, Kipe, is that John Jaso, who caught his perfect game, isn't in the dugout saying, oh, guys, he has the same stuff he had that game. And he was. We saw it. We were in Kansas City watching the finish of his perfect game, and he had everything working. And there was his catcher who is now trying to hit against him.
Well, he's obviously difficult to hit. He pitches a lot against the A's. But I like watching him pitch.
Oh, yeah,
because he gets up and gets after it.
Yeah. It becomes a pitcher's game,
yeah.
and you know it's a challenge to face him.
So out number 1, and Smith steps in.
A's fans, be sure to take advantage of the Xfinity Friday Family Pack presented by Xfinity and supported by the Contra Costa Times. Every Friday home game, you can get 4 Plaza level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium Pepsis, and 4 bags of peanuts, and at just $50. Tickets are limited, so act fast. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/Friday.
So Smith steps in, the DH tonight. And that one is a fastball, and third base umpire John Tompane says that Smith went around. Let's take a look.
Well, I'm glad the home plate umpire deferred to the third base umpire. They should do that anyway, and it was the right call. Definitely was a check swing, couldn't hold up in time.
So a quick 0-2, only 26 pitches thrown by Felix Hernandez with 1 out in the 3rd inning. What's that? Two-seamer?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's almost like a changeup, but it's a two-seamer that throw the fastball, vary the velocity on his fastball. But the two-seamer is like a hard changeup. You have to gear up a little bit extra for his fastball anyway.
Well, you watch him tonight, and when he throws his fastball, it's 91, 92. Yeah. But he's got that good movement.
Carl Willis, the longtime pitching coach for Eric Wedge in Cleveland and now in Seattle. And if there's ever a time a pitching coach can relax, how about when King Felix takes the mound? He's done a good job. He's a very good pitcher in his own right with the Minnesota Twins, teammate of A's hitting coach Chili Davis.
Fastball, and Smith chased it. So that's 2 outs, and here's the final out of that Felix Hernandez perfect game, and we were watching.
Second baseman, number 28, Eric Sogard.
There is John Jason.
And you know the question I have, what took him so long? I mean, with the quality stuff that he has, but he has retired 8 in a row. So the A's need to find a way to do something.
First pitch, a fastball first strike to Eric Sogard. 23rd perfect game in Major League Baseball history. 13 pitches, so
see the run support, 1-0.
So the perfect game has been a story around Major League Baseball in the last 3 years. There was a couple of them last year. So you go back to the Dallas Braden.
Doc Holliday right after that. Philip Humber and Felix Hernandez. Philip Humber pitched for the White Sox against the Mariners in Seattle. Perfect game.
That's right. Kane had one, so there was 3 perfect games last year.
And the Mariners had a combined no-hitter.
But pitching has been,
well, especially at Safeco Field. Now see what happens with the fences being moved in, but still not going to be a hitter's park according to Eric Wells. Throw the fences in all you want. It's still cool air, damp air. Playwood and his magic of getting this field ready after football.
it is.
Catcher's mitt and a microphone. Standing next to Ricky.
Sogard checks his swing, so now it's a full count. Well, the A's will not go to Seattle until the 10th of May to check out those new dimensions.
Pitch off the plate, and definitely not a swing by Sogard. Hard slider down and in. This is where you cannot guarantee a fastball.
And it was a fastball right at the knees on the inside corner. So 4 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. We got a good one going, folks. No score after 3. Inning, Morales, Morse, and Smoke. So it's the
Leading off the top of the 4th inning,
big fellas in the Mariners lineup.
Morales.
39 pitches for Brett Anderson, 3 innings, and breaking ball is low.
Okay, how about this strikeout pitch? And I said about a fastball. Remember previous pitch that was taken, breaking ball? That to me indicated he's thinking one thing. Perfect game. Throws a fastball 3-2. Does not want to take a chance of walking a hitter with a breaking ball.
Good point. So Sogard cannot handle the hard hit ball by Morales. It'll go as an error.
He's already made 3 very good plays tonight. His Eric Sogard, and there's one he'd like to have back again because a play that he'll make more times than not. Just came up on it, but on play, he came up, the ball stayed down. He's going to have to turn a double play.
So here's Morse. Moore struck out swinging in the second inning. The numbers last year, a lot of errors for the Athletics. 111. Lowry has it, flips to second for one. Double play. 6-4-3, and now there are 2 outs. So second double play turned by the A's tonight.
And that's also 6 ground ball outs for Brett Anderson. That is the type of pitcher that Anderson is. Lowry, a true shortstop, and with Nakajima on the DL, he gets the chance to play at his familiar position, and a very, very nicely turned double play. Flip to Sogard, and Kenrys Morales out of the way and getting Morris by plenty. That's tailor-made as there is in a double play. So Sogard out of the woods gets the double play. Nobody on base, and the air is forgotten.
First pitch to Smoke is a strike.
Okay, that's the reason. So many right-handed hitters. You have a ground ball pitcher as Brett Anderson is. That breaking ball, you need the defense, especially left side. A's are already showing that tonight with the number of ground ball outs being induced by Brett Anderson.
And with the A's keeping Nate Fryman, we really only have Sizemore, Sogard, and Lowry as the 3 middle infielders. But Lowry can play all over the diamond, and Sogard could play short in a pinch.
Adam Rosales talking to Nate Fryman on the disabled list is
Smoke rips one into left for a base hit. So Smoke has been on base twice with a walk and now a single.
Decided to go to a fastball inside instead of the slider, and Smoke,
Now batting,
a switch
number
hitter
50,
and very powerful
Kyle
from both sides, and
Seager.
able to get the bat head out in enough time before the fastball got past him. I think in the future you'll probably see instead of the fastball it's going to be the slider, especially with 2 strikes. Trying to put him away with the hard slider instead of the sneaky fastball in.
Here's Seager. He had an infield hit. The ball off of Anderson's foot. He's in the second inning. Fastball is high. 2 hits now for Seattle. No hits yet for the Athletics. Seager high and fouled on the left field line. Jesus Montero waiting in the on-deck circle. Good curveball. Catches the inside corner, which you don't see a curveball catch the inside corner and get called a strike very often.
Well, it's unintentional. He wanted it outside. CJ, so outside moves back, keeps the ball in the strike zone. Good pitch the way it turned out. And I say that because as a hitter, you see the spin and you expect a breaking pitch to break sharply away if you're a left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. And the old backup breaking ball can be a very good pitch, as that one was.
So the crowd getting into it, looking for the strikeout. Anderson struck out the first 4 hitters he faced. He has not picked up a strikeout since then. That one, not a whole lot different than the breaking ball that was called a strike a couple of pitches ago.
Watch Dana DeMuth, the home plate umpire, turn his head to the right, which indicates he thought the pitch was off of the plate. See, it's his motion.
To the backstop, count stays 2-2. field, shifted around toward left center. Cespedes shallow in left field. Chris pretty deep in center. That one stays inside, and now it's a full count, so that will get Smoke on the move. Moss will let Brett Anderson know that he's going to play behind him.
Well, Anderson's trying to throw the hard breaking pitch, but unfortunately the 3 to Seager have stayed on the inside part of the plate.
Smoke goes, swing and a miss, got him. And that is strikeout number 5 for Brett Anderson. An error, but no damage done. No scores. We head to the bottom of the 4th. For Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Kate Longworth inside the A's clubhouse. Bibb and Shooty will break it down after the game, and highlights from all around Major League Baseball on opening day. Of course, there was a game last night. Astros beating the Texas Rangers. Watched that game. It was kind of fun. Astros played great. Inspired baseball. And
first place.
First place. Did not play today. They'll play game 2.
Well, they were in first place this morning. The Angels in 13, 14 innings defeated the Reds in the interleague game.
That was a 3-1 final in Cincinnati. 13 innings.
Inside that, a home run and a 2-run single. All 3 runs on a cold, about 4-hour game in Cincinnati.
With bounce towards short. Ryan charges in. That is out number 1. So the Angels win. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 8-2 this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Lester over Sabathia. And I wrote down the Yankees lineup for you, Ray, because I told you on Saturday that I was going to do that. Now keep in mind, Yankees just a little bit banged up, but this was the Yankees lineup today. Gardner, Nunez, Cano, Euclid, Wells, Francisco, Suzuki, Nix, and Cervelli. Just doesn't sound good.
That's Ichiro Suzuki, not Kurt. And that's Francisco Cervelli, who is the catcher. And Raul Bañez is not there.
So Jeter's out, Teixeira's out, A-Rod's out, Granderson's out, and don't forget Phil Hughes is out. These guys are all on the disabled list.
And I don't even know if you're counting Phil Hughes, but the other guys told him $92 million.
I did not count Phil Hughes.
$92 million payroll on the disabled list of the New York Yankees.
So some concerns in Yankee land, I'm sure. That one drilled left center field. Nobody's going to get it. Gutierrez picks it up. Jaso trying for 2, and he is going to be in there with a slide. 1-out double for Jaso, and that's the first hit of the game for the Athletics.
John Jaso took a couple of breaking pitches, got the fastball, and did not take it. Ball kept slicing away from Gutierrez, who plays an outstanding center field. But the great thing about this play is the fact that Jaso was thinking double as soon as he hit the ball. Watch him out of the box. And he runs well. Yes, he's a catcher, but he's a smart base runner, and he has some acceleration, which he showed with a feet-first slide to get in ahead of the tag. Coco said, wait a minute, he's a catcher. But he doesn't run like a catcher. Montero is a catcher. He was running like a catcher on the ball that was thrown out a couple of innings ago.
First pitch off speed, strike to Reddick. So an RBI shot for Reddick with a fly ball to left field back in the first inning. Reddick with 85 RBIs last year.
Felix Hernandez again falling behind Jaso, and that was the key because, again, if he was thinking about the perfecto, which once you've pitched one, you've got to be thinking you got pretty good stuff, but surprisingly threw the two-seamer, the four-seam fastball. There's the two-seamer blocked nicely by Montero, but he threw it to Jaso, but not to Josh Reddick with the runner in scoring position. This could not stay back, and Montero, a good job of blocking. That's an important block because it keeps the runner at second instead of third. Wild pitch, pass ball with the runner at second is just as important, almost as big as the runner at third.
Fastball is Hernandez came right at Reddick, and Josh had a good swing. So the count remains 1-2.
Bob Melvin knows that Josh Reddick is key, especially in those situations that he's in right now. And he saw him in spring training where Brennan Ryan is playing him. He was hitting a lot of balls the opposite field. See where he is up the middle. Expecting him to pull, almost a shift put on against Reddick.
That one chopped down the first base side, and it'll be smoked to Hernandez, who gets there just in front of Reddick.
Fans, when you're away from the Bay Area and can't watch the A's on Comcast Sportsnet, take your team with you with MLB.tv. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.tv Premium. Visit MLB.tv today. MLB.tv baseball everywhere.
So here's Cespedes. A's need a two-out RBI hit or a ball to the backstop.
Well, the backstop part, it'd be interesting to see the pitch selection of Felix Hernandez with the runner at third base. He had a nice block by his catcher on a two-seamer in the dirt.
Grounded. Ryan. Nice play, and Cespedes is retired. Terrific play by Brendan Ryan. Keeps the A's off the board. So defense shining tonight. No score as we head to the fifth. brought to you by McDonald's. Remember this, Game 3 of the Division Series. Brett Anderson returns to the mound after an oblique injury that had sidelined him for 3 weeks, and he was terrific. 6 innings against the Tigers. No runs, couple of walks. A's won that game 2-1 to stay alive, and then they won the next night on the walk-off hit by Coco Crisp, but then lost Game 5 to Verlander. None of us wanted the season to end. It was very strange that it was over. Montero, Ackley, and Ryan. Good pitch there. The count is 1-1.
It's always great to see a breaking ball that misses. Hitter's not thinking about it. Here comes another one, perfectly thrown by Brett Anderson.
It certainly was an interesting final couple of months for Brett Anderson. First working his way back from that Tommy John. In late August, he came back, made 6 starts, and he was really pretty good in all of them except one. I think he struggled in Detroit, and that's the one where he got hurt. That was on the 19th of September, and then did not pitch again until the Division Series. Montero is retired. And the sky's the limit for Brett Anderson if he can ever stay healthy and make 32, 33 starts, because
Now batting, number 13.
you just have to watch it. His stuff is terrific.
But you know, you look at him and just look at his physique right now and what he looked like whenever or before he went on the disabled list with the surgery. He lost a lot of weight. Figured it's a perfect time for him to start to eat right, work out, lose weight, get in a position where he could pitch and feel good about himself. And couldn't have a better guy than Kurt Young working with him. As it turned out, July of 2011, the season in which Kurt Young was back in Boston, is when he had the season-ending surgery. Took him for 12 months, as you mentioned, back in August last year, and here he is opening night.
Anderson still only 25 years old. His contract, the A's have options on Anderson in 2014 and 2015. Option simply being the A's will decide whether they want to bring him back. That's what a club option is. A player option would be the player deciding whether he wants to come back. The next 2 years, the A's have those type of options. And that hit Ackley. Now this is the 19th of September when Anderson hurt that oblique.
Now batting, number 26.
Yeah, all the bunts, they kept bunting on him, and that was one of the problems, and that's when he said enough's enough, and that's it. Yep. But remarkably, the A's kept the run going, and he was able to come back and to pitch the deciding Game 3 elimination game for the A's, and he pitched unbelievable.
Little flare right center by Ryan. That's going to fall. And trying for third is Ackley, and the throw is there, and he's safe, and going to second is Ryan. Well, Reddick made, well, really a perfect throw. It was just a shade late.
Well, and it was Ackley's base running. He saw where the outfields were positioned and was running. Watch him go halfway and then take off right there, and he took off, and Josh Reddick saw him running, and there's a throw, but just a hair late, and all the while with the throw over the cutoff man, Ryan was able to go to second easily. So once again, a couple of runners in scoring position. Josh Donaldson tries his best as a former catcher to put his body in front of a base runner, but the throw was just offline.
Top of the order, Franklin Gutierrez. A's bring the infield in. First pitch up and away.
Now, Brett Anderson, even though he's a ground ball pitcher, he's also a strikeout pitcher, and this is where you want him to strike out. Started with a fastball, but his best pitch is down and in, as we saw with Gutierrez to start the game. 3 pitches and finish him off with a slider down and in.
Gutierrez takes that breaking ball, 2-0. Ray, a guy like Anderson who throws a lot of breaking balls, you think They're sitting there watching the other dugout start to get a little read on the breaking ball, even though it's a good one. Maybe you start to lay off the pitch a little bit.
Yeah, if you can pick up the spin.
Gutierrez was hoping for a fastball, and he got it on 2-0, and he fouled it back. That's opponent's batting average with runners in scoring position.
And really, I don't think we've seen the outstanding breaking pitch from Brett Anderson tonight. He's got the strikeouts, but I don't think it's breaking as sharply as he's capable of having to break. Maybe this is the time to bring it out.
Runs the fastball inside. Looked like that one had a little cut to it. Not a bad pitch, but inside, 3-1.
Off the plate inside, and just enough.
Michael Saunders, a left-handed hitter, will be next. Good pitch there on 3-1.
And now he can back it up with another similar pitch and maybe get a swing and miss. Gutierrez is thinking fastball started, couldn't pull the string, so he could go back with the same pitch, throw it hard, and maybe get a swing and miss. Or the hitter's got to be thinking one or the other, and he would not be assured of getting a fastball after a 3-1 slider. They're saying throw it 3-1, throw it 3-2.
That would hit right up the middle, base hit into center field. It's going to score a pair, and the Mariners are going to take a 2-0 lead. So Gutierrez got a pretty good look at the breaking ball, and he stayed back and hit it right up the middle. So give credit to Gutierrez. Pretty good job of hitting.
And it was not the good breaking pitch. The 3-1 was actually better. He did not throw it as sharply, and it could have been because of a runner at third base. And he tried to kick save. No success there. But the difference when a runner is at third base, it really affects a pitcher who has a very hard breaking pitch. And the confidence you have to have in your catcher to block a ball that's in the dirt. And leave it up that much, it becomes hitter.
So the inning started after Montero was retired. Acme was hit by the pitch, and that's how the rally started. Michael Saunders, a strikeout, and he hit into a double play. Saunders has good power. He hit 19 home runs last year. Drove in 57 in 139 games for the Mariners. Another guy the Mariners have been patient with. We'll see if he is an impact bat. Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic. Time on it was like 15 for 20 or something. Two and one to Saunders. Kendrys Morales waits in the on deck circle. He's the switch hitter. Moss has it out at second, and no throw to first. Anderson a little late getting over there, but we've seen that with Brett before, because when he follows through toward the third base side of the mound, and he follows through a lot that way, as you can see.
Now batting.
That's a great point, because there's no chance, and the best play that Jed Lowry made was not making the throw to first base and take a chance of putting the runner in scoring position with a bad throw, or a throw where the pitcher could get there.
Well, it's not perfect mechanics, obviously, but when you have the stuff Brett Anderson has, what are you going to do? Change him? No. There's not that many pitchers who land perfect and square up to the hitter.
Let's see. I can think of Jim Cotter won 16 Gold Gloves, and Greg Maddox about 17.
Yeah.
So yeah, those guys fielded their position well. In the case of the ball Gutierrez hit was right back over the mound, and if Brett Anderson had followed through, squared up to the plate, he would have hit him someplace.
Ripped foul by Morales. So a couple of runs in for the Mariners here at the top of the fifth.
Gutierrez hurt last season. A lot of promise for him, and tonight, leading off, comes through with a big hit to give his pitcher a 2-run lead.
Jaso blocks it. So the pitch count now up to 77 for Anderson. It was low early. It has started to creep up here last couple innings.
A slider in the dirt blocked by Jaso. Actually came up with a catch. And if he'd thrown that slider Gutierrez, he might have gotten a strikeout, but he left it up too much. But there's not a runner at third right now either.
We always talked about that with K-Rod, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his breaking ball was nasty, but it would shoot to the backstop occasionally.
Because it bounced in front of home plate more times than not.
Morales a strikeout, and then he reached on the air. That was in the 4th inning. The air was on Soto. Donaldson waits. He's going to go across the diamond. In time, side retired. 2 runs, 2 hits, a hit batter. That was costly, and the Mariners take a 2-0 lead after 4.5.
Adoption Day, 10,000 fans will receive an A's pet calendar sponsored by Central Garden and Pet when the A's host the Detroit Tigers. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Oh, the old favorite pet calendar, and between the magnetic schedule tonight and pet calendar that shows the A's games, then you're ready.
Don't forget to bring that calendar or the magnetic schedule to your barber.
And the pet calendar.
That too, you can have them both. I know your barber wants that magnetic schedule, so don't forget to do that tomorrow morning.
Rod will have it. I don't know about tomorrow because I don't need a haircut. I need to get back from Anaheim.
So see if the A's can get something going against Hernandez. He's now trailing 2-0. The old shutdown innings graphic is back. We like that. Right around the league average last year for Hernandez. He's going to face Lowry, Moss, and Donaldson. And it's 2-0.
Well, you have to figure with King Felix Hernandez, run support is important because he pitches so well. Takes the ball every 5th day and usually has a quality start. Just a matter of scoring him runs, and so far, at least in this inning, the Mariners did.
Bounced foul past Ty Waller. Same coaching staff for the A's, except for the addition of Darren Bush, who's
tied
bullpen.
first. Mike Gallego He's infield coach, third base coach. Of course, Chip Hale, the bench coach, is back. The very positive Newt Rockney type Chip Hale with his speeches that he can get.
Hey, he got us going again in Arizona.
Right.
Ray and I at Comcast Sportsnet, beautiful dinner with the advertisers. A couple of weeks ago, Chip Hale was there and he gave the speech. We were ready to play. Put the unis on, go out and play a wiffle ball game. He had us all fired.
Wiffle ball, yeah. He's saying, is this a strike? And I think it was home plate umpire made the call without questioning. Felix looked to third base, but Dan DeMuth had already called it.
3-2, and it's hit to left field. Michael Morris squeezes it, and that's out number 1. So Jed Lowry probably feels like he should be on first base with a walk, so he's not going to be thrilled about that. Here's Moss.
Well, not only that, then he might have swung a ball forward with a fastball, but he was looking for it, geared up for it, and could not make solid contact.
Moss struck out swinging. It was in the second inning. 4 strikeouts for Hernandez. He's allowed just the 1 hit. He has not walked anybody. You see the pitch count? 53. Ackley, a couple steps to his left. That's 2 outs. So no surprise with the Athletics. We've come to expect this. A few changes, but these are changes from the beginning of last year through last season and through the off season. Of course, Kurt Suzuki was traded. Chris Carter, Pennington, Inge, Gomes. It's pretty good talent on there. McCarthy signed with the Diamondbacks. So Chris Carter, he was starting in left field, and I believe he was hitting third for the Houston Astros last night in the nationally televised game.
Got a lot of fly balls that he caught in front of the Crawford boxes.
We are always in front of them. And we will find out about those Crawford boxes this weekend. So our first trip to Houston as division mates. So we'll look forward to that. Effective, of course, the trade that brought Lowry to the A's. Carter was part of that, and Brad Peacock was part of that, and I believe Brad Peacock made the rotation for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, they have an off day, a couple of off days. They're off today, and then I think he will pitch Friday, which is the Astros' 4th game. So Bo Porter, in his first season managing, wins the first game of his managerial career.
2-2 the count to Donaldson. Nasty pitch. Donaldson strikes out. That is strikeout number 5 for Felix Hernandez, and we're headed to the 6th inning. Michael Morris will lead it off. 2-0 Seattle. Nothing lead, and they will bat against Brett Anderson here in the 6th inning. Morris, Smoke, and Seager. First pitch swinging. Morris fouls it back. A couple of runs for Seattle in the 5th inning. Dre made a mistake that inning, 5th inning, where a couple of runs scored, was started with a 1 out. I thought it was a hit by pitch, but it was a walk. Pitch to.
Well, either way, he reached base,
exactly.
And I think like you said, that a lot of times a pitcher, or there are times a pitcher will hit a batter when it's a 3-ball count. In this case,
up and in, yeah. So, anyways, it was a walk.
Now batting.
So here's Smoke.
17, Justin Smoke.
3 walks, 5 strikeouts for Brett Anderson. Ray, you mentioned Bo Porter getting the win last night. He is one of 6 new managers around Major League Baseball, 3 in the American League and 3 in the National League. Of course, John Farrell is now in Boston. And Harry Francona is now in Cleveland. So we wish Terry Francona good luck. Reddick has it, and that's out number 2. We'll stay up to date on everything athletics with insider Casey Pratt. Follow Casey on Twitter at CaseyPrattCSN. Log on to CSNCalifornia.com all season long to read Casey's news and notes on the athletics. Hashtag Ace Talk. Check it out. Casey working hard as always.
Hi, Glenn.
Yeah. Casey likes me. Not sure yet if he likes Ray. Something you two are just going to have to work.
You wouldn't believe how many times since Saturday that he has said, now that I normally don't sit there. That bar is bigger than what I normally expect, because it was there, and I said, why did the paper all of a sudden get about 6 inches taller?
Tell me, these guys, they don't know how to handle my partners.
See, Seager that time tried to call time. Dana DeMuth would not give it to him as Brett Anderson was ready to pitch. As it turned out, it was a ball anyway.
Seager with a single and a strikeout. So John Gibbons goes back to Toronto and goes back to what certainly looks like should be a good team. Mike Redmond is the new manager of the Marlins, and our old friend Walt Weiss is the new manager of the Rockies. So we wish Walt.
Talked to Walt. He was smart. He hired Rene Latchman, who Latch was a coach here under Tony Russa, and then he played for Latch in Florida with the Marlins.
Okay.
So he hired the veteran, and good guy to have if you're a first-year manager.
Sure. And a miss. Seager strikes out for the 2nd time, so a very good inning for Brett Anderson. Work to do. 2-0 Mariners lead. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek is giving away 16 cars guaranteed. Visit cachecreek.com for more information. Mariners 2, A's nothing. A's with just one hit off Felix Hernandez, who is trying for career win number 99 tonight. And he has been sharp. But the A's still have 4 more shots against him. What's going in the Mariners' favor is the pitch count for Felix Hernandez, which is sitting at 59. So if you're right around 12 pitches per inning, you're going to be all right, and that's about what Hernandez is at.
And the 0 in the walk column is always an important stat. And for Brett Anderson, it's kind of sorry to see that hit batter turned out to be a walk, because Brett, last year he had a start against the Mariners, didn't walk anybody. As a matter of fact, he had 2 of his 6 starts he did not walk a batter. Tonight a little different. He's been off the plate a little bit, but still very effective. And to give up just a couple of runs as he has through 6 innings, that's a good outing. Unfortunately, his offense not able to do anything against Felix.
Broken bat, little flare. Ryan out, and he's not going to get it. Wasn't pretty, but the A's will take it. So Smith got jammed, and the way Ryan runs around and catches everything, you thought that he was going to make a play.
That's almost a self-defense swing. One that looked like it's going to hit the right kneecap of Seth Smith, and see how he brought his bat in. Watch him. Watch the bat come in as he plants the foot, brings it all the way in, and saws him off. That's in the kitchen. Big-time refrigerator.
He had a piece of bat in his left hand, a piece of bat in his right hand, and another piece went flying.
And he could look back. His first hit of the 2013 season was a bullet to left field. At least tomorrow we will think that.
First pitch to Sogard is high. Felix Hernandez has only pitched out of the stretch to 2 batters in this game. So this is the 3rd time. Yeah, that can make a difference. Short lead for Smith, and now it's 2-0.
I think the Rays weren't saying when he pitched the perfect game, let's get him in the stretch. They never did. Speaking of the Rays, Dallas Braden's perfect game came against them. I think Martin Burley had a perfect game against the Rays. Felix Hernandez perfect game against the Rays.
Yep.
They're too good of a hitting team in those years to have perfect games thrown against them.
Sogard rips from the right field, coming in is Saunders, and he's going to make the catch on the run. A soft line drive. Sogard cannot get it to fall. So that's out number 1, and that'll bring up Coco Crisp. Speaking of the Rays, they will open tomorrow at home. There's 4 teams that did not open today. The Orioles will be at the Rays tomorrow, and the Indians will be at the Blue Jays. So those 4 teams will wait till tomorrow to get their season underway. Everybody else getting things going last night, and then today only one other game being played right now. Arizona and the Cardinals are playing in Phoenix. So 1-0 to Coco Crisp, who has hit a really deep fly ball to right field and then a ground out to short. Seager, the third baseman, in on the edge of the grass.
And the gap between first and second, and Coco Crisp very adept at taking a pitch, either pulling it, and sometimes can go into seats, otherwise he could go to that hole. Just a very good hitter, and we talked to Chili Davis on Saturday during the telecast against the Giants, how Coco is just able to be very quick with his upper body. That allows him to stay back, take a lot of pitches that are close, as he just did. And Chile himself, a very, very good switch hitter with a lot of power from both sides. And Coco is a switch hitter as well.
Missed again, 3-0.
He's just not completing the fastball, and as a result, the three have been tailing away from the left-handed hitting Coco Crisp.
Pitch is a fastball for a strike. Well, you wonder, Ray, if Hernandez is trying to keep the ball away from Coco Crisp because of what you just said, that hole on the right side.
Well, and also he knows that Coco has some pop. It makes a mistake, Coco can take it down the right field line, which is conducive in this kind of conditions to hit a home run.
Swing and a miss, and again kept it away from him. So now it's 3-2.
Coco is thinking about pulling the pitch that just kept running away. Usually you don't see Coco take that kind of an aggressive swing. At least like he was trying to tie the game. Looked like he was trying to hit a home run.
Spin, staying put, and that's a swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 6. So Hernandez fell behind 3-0, came back and struck out Coco.
But had a lot left in the tank just to challenge him, and it's exactly what he did after falling behind 3-0. Threw him 3 fastballs, all good ones.
See, now there it looked like there was a little extra on that last pitch.
That's good. Pitchers hold a little in reserve when they need it.
Jaso had the first hit for the A's tonight. It was a double with 1 out in the 4th inning. Double to left center field. Jaso before his year in Seattle. Saw him with the Rays. Pitch there for a strike.
I think it's always interesting when you've caught a pitcher and you face him as a hitter. Jaso started his swing, held up, pitch in the strike zone, but you think you have an idea, you have no clue, because pitcher is thinking the same thing. But you don't really think about facing the pitcher that you're catching.
Now there's that 2-seam fastball that almost reacts like a split finger. It just goes down and away to a left-handed hitter.
I remember Mark Ellis at one time said it might have been a changeup. He just throws it, and you throw it in a circle change delivery. You can throw it hard, but it does look like a fastball. Split. Rich Harden threw the changeup that always looked like a split finger fastball, but it was a straight change. Just went down very quickly.
So Jaso behind in the count 1-2, and just got a piece of that. 75 pitches now for Felix Hernandez. Jaso was originally drafted by the Rays in the 12th round in 2003 and then got to the big leagues with the Rays in 08. Full season in 2010 and again in 2011, then the 1 year in Seattle last year. Right now battling his old teammate. 2-2.
One thing a team does, and there's a scouting report on, or advanced report in this case, on Felix Hernandez tonight. And the one thing you kind of draw on is, in this case, John Jaso, who caught Felix Hernandez, maybe some tendencies, but I'd say the scouting report on him is good luck. He's good.
Foul territory, and nobody's going to get it. Well, if you made a list of who you thought were the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, he's going to be on it.
He'll be there. And probably in the top 5.
Yep.
At least what the American League hitters seem to think about it. And those in the National League who face him during interleague play.
Up and away, 3-2. He's a workhorse. He will give you the innings. That's over the last 3 seasons.
Look at the contracts of 3 out of 5, and what number? Well, Shields is going to get in Kershaw. The other 3 already have big contracts. Top 3 pitchers in baseball.
Three and 2. Smith will go. Breaking ball fouled straight back. Well, with what Kershaw did today, he may have added a little value to his already steep value.
Yeah, you can't pinch hit for me. I just hit a home run.
He beat the Giants today 4-0, and that game was 0-0 to the bottom of the 8th, and Kershaw hit a solo home run.
Straight away center.
Yeah, and then the Dodgers added on. Complete game shutout. So a little extra negotiating power for Clayton Kershaw. Again, left field into the seats.
On the last pitch, a hard breaking pitch that was fouled by John Jaso to stay alive. He's now looking at pitch number 10. And with Montero, the catcher, and Felix to talk about it.
Something to think about as well is the Mariners, like the A's, have a very good bullpen.
Yes, they do.
A lot of hard throwers, whether it be from the left side or the right side. So
those 2 guys that were just shown, Eric Wedge and Carl Willis, manager and pitching coach, know that if pitching's good, they should be able to do a lot better as a team.
Swing and a miss. Jaso swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. So Hernandez strikes out 2 in the inning. He's got 7 in the game, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead.
You know, even though I'm 25 and the salty vet of the staff right now, he's still young at heart, and you know, like it never gets old hearing your name called and run out that line or run out to your position. So you know, it's awesome.
Salty vet, indeed. He's 25 years old. Opening day starters for the A's the last 8 seasons. There's some good names on there. Zito, 06, that was his last year with the Athletics. Ben Sheets in 2010.
Give me the ball.
We love Ben Sheets. Saw an interesting note today, Ray. I don't know if you saw it or not, but the average age opening day roster of the Oakland A's is 28 years old. That is the youngest opening day roster average in the American League. Lowry throws out Montero, and second youngest in all of baseball. And again, that's the average age of the 25 guys on the opening day roster.
Well, that's great, because that means got a lot of young guys that bring the average down. That
number 13
can continue to play. There
keeps the salary down too.
There are a couple of youngsters there. A.J. Griffin, Tommy Malone, starters 2 and 4.
In fact, only the Atlanta Braves had a younger average age on their opening day roster than the Athletics. 1-1 to Ackley. Flied out to center in the second, walked and scored in the fifth. Mariners have very high hopes for Ackley, but really, he had the sophomore slump last year. He got up in 2011 and he played 90 games and hit 273. But last year, he struggled from the get-go. And he ended up hitting 226, and he played every game pretty much. And the Mariners said, hey, you know what? We're going to run you out there.
And when you struggle, you do a lot of things. He's got a stance now that is kind of unorthodox a little bit, the way he stands with the bat on his shoulder, open stance. What is the knob at the pitcher? Grew a beard, and all those things.
Well, he had 22 doubles, couple triples, 12 home runs last year. He struck out 124 times, which is probably a little bit too much for the type of hitter he is. Not a big home run guy, but still young. And I've said this before, but another guy that the Mariners need, they need him to be good.
Yes. Well, that's,
I mean, it's just that's it.
Right. Given the opportunities, and yeah, you need to capitalize on those opportunities.
Rips that one toward Reddick. The Gold Glover reaches up and makes the catch.
And speaking of Gold Gloves, you just saw that, didn't you? You can celebrate Josh Reddick's Gold Glove with a Gold Glove of your own. Friday, April the 12th, 10,000 fans will receive a Josh Reddick foam Gold Glove, courtesy of Comcast Sportsnet California, when the A's outfielder is presented his 2012 Rawlings Gold Glove Award before the A's host the Tigers. For more information, tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Rawlings Gold Glove, and it is a beauty.
2 outs for Brendan Ryan. One of the new Athletics, Chris Saab, right-hander, starts to throw. Pitch count, triple digits for Anderson. And now 3-0 to the 9th place hitter.
Unlike spring training games, exhibition games, when certain pitch counts there, the manager walks out regardless. That's not the case. I think they'd like to see Brett Anderson finish this inning.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. So that is the 4th walk that Anderson has issued. He has struck out 6, given up only 4 hits. So Kurt Young's going to visit and maybe give Rysop a little more time to get ready.
I like also that it's a case of pitching the 7th inning, and Brett Anderson's pitched a very good game considering his opposite number and the fact that his offense has not done much. He's not given up much himself. I'd like to see him get through the inning, and it's got to be his last, and figure give his club a chance to come back and maybe try to win the game or give him the win. Kurt Young is still here, and fortunately he is back after 2011 in
Now
Boston.
batting, number 21.
And the demise, the downfall of the Red Sox in September enabled the A's to get Kurt Young back in an A's uniform. I don't know that he'll be leaving again. Be surprised.
First pitch to Gutierrez instead of throw to first. Well, Ray, I read Terry Francona's book, this offseason. And I'd want to get the heck out of Boston too after what those guys went through. Those guys being the coaching staff. Very good read, by the way. Francona, the Red Sox years.
Well, there's not many managers really in the lifetime of a lot of Boston Red Sox fans that say you won 2 World Championships and you go 80 some odd years without winning one, and then 2 from 04 and 07.
Yeah. So the Red Sox nation. Runner goes, pitches a strike, throws second a little wide, and it's a stolen base for Ryan.
You kind of figured that was going to be happening with 2 outs and a runner at first. Ryan with good speed. He's eventually going to take the chance and run. And after a couple of throwovers, you go on the first move, and it was a good move. No chance for John Jaso.
So the count 0-1, and a runner in scoring position now for Gutierrez, who had the big 2-run single in the 5th inning. Lays off that sharp curveball from Anderson. Pitch number 105 from the left-hander Anderson. The outfield shifted toward right a little bit. Reddick in a couple steps. He'd like to have a shot at Ryan. Cespedes maybe a little more shallow than normal. Two and two now.
He glanced at bat and it went to 3 and 2. Got a hanging breaking ball that Gutierrez hit up the middle. This is a sharp breaking pitch that one he probably would like to have thrown at the last at bat.
So the crowd into it. And now Anderson get out of this inning. And that will bounce off the foot of Gutierrez. And we'll do it again. Gutierrez would love to play 150 games for the Mariners this year. I always thought he was a pretty good player.
Covered a lot of ground in center field. Good hitter. They can hit in different parts of the lineup and just trying to keep him on the field. Some rare, strange ailments and injuries that he's had.
Skies this one. Very shallow. Crisp coming in, and he's going to get there, and he makes the catch. Runner stranded. It's the 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum on opening night. Mariners lead 2-0. The Mariners lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning, so the A's with 3 more shots to try to finally win opening night. A's have lost 8 consecutive season openers, so time for that to change, we hope. Want to welcome Hank Ford, that gentleman right there. He's Comcast Regional Senior Vice President, California, Comcast Cable. So Hank enjoying the game tonight. I do believe he's got good seats. Why not?
Diamond level.
He's a senior vice president. They get the good seats, and he's enjoying the game. So Hank, hope you're having fun.
Get all the food you can eat.
I was going to say, hope you're eating a lot.
Janelle Kipe, I think if you look back, and the Mariners have won 6 consecutive opening night games. The A's have lost 8 consecutive. But I think in the long run, someone said it's a season of 161 plus opening night. And the A's would take the way they finished last year. The Mariners would love to have had the same finish, even though the Mariners won the opener. That's the line for Brett Anderson. His final, the 4 walks, probably the biggest thing that he would like to improve on. I'm sure he will.
That one hit well to left center field. Morris on the move at the warning track, and he makes the catch on the run. So Reddick goes after the first pitch. Hit it well, but hung up for Michael Morris. Yeah, for some reason, I guess it's easy to, because there's so much anticipation, big crowd, you want to win. You feel like the home opener, you feel like it's worth like 5 games, and it's really not.
It is really not, and it's almost to the man, to the player. It's great to start a season, but you can't wait to get it over with. And I'm probably repeating myself that I've said it for a lot of opening games, just because they know that the hype is there, felt it as a player, same as a broadcaster, and it's great to see. But I think the greatest thing to see, or would be to see, is a crowd like this every game at home, where the team can have the support of the fans, sellout capacity.
Well, I think that's where kind of what we're talking about comes into play with the Athletics, because there's a lot of nights where there's not crowds like that, and you would like to win and have an entertaining game in front of a big crowd.
And that's what Bob Melvin said, and he's always said that when there's a big crowd, he wants his team to play well, and tonight they have played well. It's just that they've not been able to get runs or hits off of Felix Hernandez. 2 hits, and that's it.
0-2 to Jonas Cespedes, and he got a fastball, and he had a good swing, fouled it straight back. 85 pitches now for Felix Hernandez.
I think for the A's, if they can get the pitch count up in this inning, that maybe Carl Willis and Eric Wedge will think 100's enough, or right around 100. So this is an important inning, and even more so next inning.
Doolittle and Resop both throwing in the A's bullpen. Obviously, the Mariners bullpen is quiet. Two hits for the A's, a Jaso double in the 4th, a Smith broken bat single in the 6th. Fastball runs high, 1-2. That one hit hard toward third. Seager has it, and it played perfectly. So Cespedes hit it very hard, but right at Kyle Seager, and that is out number 2.
The bad speed for Cespedes, the way the ball hits the infield, just, I mean, it had to be right there, coming right back to Seager. Otherwise, it's past him very quickly and in the outfield for a base hit. And Exmo, see how even in Exmo the bat head gets through the zone, the follow through, and just this would happen to be right to Seager. It's about the only way he's going to be able to catch it. It's hit so hard.
Here is Jed Lowry, a strikeout and a fly ball to left field for Lowry. The switch hitter hitting in the 5th spot. Should be playable. And it's going to be Ryan who grabs it a step into foul territory, goes into a slide, but it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Felix Hernandez. We are headed to the 8th inning at the Coliseum, 2-0 Seattle. Time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It's one of the new athletics, Chris Resop. Resop, acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates during the offseason. He's a big fella, 6'3", 225 pounds. He's 30 years old. Started his professional baseball career as an outfielder. A couple years doing that, and then decided that the batting average was not quite high enough, and I'm going to show off my arm on the mound. So
what a curveball will do a lot of times. I figure if you're an outfielder, you have a strong arm. That works very well if you get on the mound.
He's facing Michael Saunders. Fouled straight back. Resop has been in the big leagues with Florida, Atlanta, and then the last 2.5 years with Pittsburgh, and now with the Athletics. Chris Resop.
A's are blessed to have a lot of guys in the pen that throw hard, and Resop just one more that's added this year. Had a very good spring.
A's have 5 right-handers in their bullpen, 2 left-handers. Resop, Scribner, Nishat, Cook, and Balfour, the right-handers. Blevins, Doolittle, the left-handers. So the conventional 7, 5 righties, 2 lefties, is what you'll probably see. It's the breakdown you'll see most of the time, not always. Some teams will carry another left-hander. Speed, swing and a miss. You see the miles per hour, 81, looks like his changeup.
A good one right over the top, a little bit up, but nice tailing action away from the left-hander. He's got him shaking his head. Probably for swinging what he felt was a bad pitch.
Good pitch there. Fastball right on the outside corner. Saunders strikes out for the second time. So that is out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Let's look at tomorrow's pitching matchup. It's brought to you by Chevron. Care for your car. Hisashi Iwakuma, who got into the rotation last year and pitched very well for the Mariners, and he will be opposed by Jared Parker. So Parker, Iwakuma, a couple of right-handers. And that will be game 2 of the series. This is a 4-game series. The rest of it will be Tommy Malone and Joe Saunders. That's the Joe Saunders that was with the Orioles last year. That's on Wednesday. And then Thursday's a day game. A.J. Griffin and Brandon Morrow. Liner into the glove of Lowry. Morrow will be making his Major League debut for the Seattle Mariners. That's the matchups the rest of the series. 2 outs for Rysop here in the 8th.
Number 38, Michael Morse.
And here's Michael Morse.
You know, Cap, we've talked about the players and the Mariners, the new players, and I think every manager, and Eric Wade said it today, and Bob Melvin's thinking about it, as all managers do, and that is coming out of spring training. Guys are sharp because they're getting a lot of playing time and trying to keep them that way. And when you have guys sitting on the bench, you try to get them in the game as quickly as possible to try to keep their swing going great. There's some manager, unfortunately, just duplicate the lineup every day, same 9, but you're going to use the whole team, the whole bench, everybody. You have to get them in the game.
Rolled up the middle, Sogard, backhand long throw, and it's going to bounce, and Morse was going to beat it out either way. So an infield hit for Michael Morse.
Talked about Brett Anderson falling to the third base side. Chris Rysop just the opposite, and you see this ball, and we talk about guys that are able to finish strong. Watch how he finishes. Ball's off, look where the ball is, right over the mound. He just cannot react quickly enough to get back, and once it got past him, that's why they say the pitcher's another fielder. There, he had no chance. And just fall off enough that does not allow you to be able to field balls that should have been caught and should have been out of the inning. But like you said, you can't change. And Brett Anderson's not going to change.
You ask a guy to change at this point?
No way.
Not going to happen.
And usually it's the guys who throw hard.
Yeah.
That follow through and fall off the mound one side or the other, depending on the way you throw. I think Greg Maddux, a great pitcher that he wasn't overpowering.
He was a dart thrower.
He was a dart thrower, and he'd throw the darts, and he'd follow through, knowing that he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs. And 351 wins later, and all those gold gloves, that he fielded his position very well. Jim Cott, who had a similar number of gold gloves, I think 16, did the same thing.
0-2 to Smoke. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, 94 miles an hour. He threw it right by Smoke. So a hit, a runner left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Moss, Donaldson, and Smith for the A's. Down by 2.
No way! Deck? No way!
All right, let's check out our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Terrific pregame show, as always, here at the Coliseum on opening night. The division championship banner Laid out in left field. Brett Anderson was great early. In fact, he struck out the first 4 hitters he faced. But then in the 5th inning, Mariners would get to him. Gutierrez with a 2-run single. And you just don't want to give up too many runs to this guy, Felix Hernandez. He's been very good through 7 innings with 7 strikeouts. He's back out there after 90 pitches, 2-5-0 for the Mariners, 0-2-1 for the Athletics. So Anderson done after 7. Hernandez back to work, bottom of the 8th. And the first pitch is a fastball outside corner, a strike to Brandon Moss. Bullpen quiet for the Mariners. Coming right at him. 90 miles an hour, but right in on the hands of Moss.
And the way this is going, I'd be surprised if anybody gets up the bullpen. If Felix has a quality 8th inning, unless the A's are able to drag it out a little bit. But you know, the 100 pitch count is usually the magic mark for a start. Look out back in Diamond Low, you get those good seats. That screen is there for a reason, to block it from coming back to you, but doesn't mean you can't duck. And that fan or fans behind home plate with that ball ducked quickly. You're closer at diamond level than the pitcher is to home plate, so it gets on you quickly.
One, 2 to Moss, way outside. Moss struck out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 5th. So looking for his first hit. A's have only 2. The closer for the Mariners is Tom Wilhelmsen. Pop up could be playable. Seager near the target.
Saturday, April the 27th. That's a big day. The A's will celebrate the 40th anniversary of their 1973 World Series championship. 10,000 fans will receive a Reggie Jackson bobblehead presented by Pepsi. Reggie Jackson, Ronnie Finger, Sal Bando, Joe Rudy. Many members are scheduled to attend along with a special pregame ceremony. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. Celebrated the 72 last year, the 73 this year, and 74 next year. You know, won 3 consecutive world championships. Better celebrate all of them. It's only one other team that's done it. That's the Yankees.
First pitch to Donaldson, and he chased a high fastball. Donaldson, a ground out to the pitcher and a strikeout. A couple of guys hitting back-to-back, Moss and Donaldson, who trying to have a repeat performance of what they did last year. In Donaldson's case, what he did the last 2 months of the season, where he was just a completely different player. He struggled early on. And I think certainly the A's have a talented roster, but those 2 guys doing something close to what they were doing last year is probably pretty important.
Well, it'd be great to back it up, but you had 2 guys really playing out of position. A third baseman who was a catcher and a first baseman, an outfielder, and both providing the power that you like to see at the corner position, first and third. And Bob Melvin pretty much platooned Chris Carter and Brandon Moss. But Josh Donaldson had the third base position himself, especially after Brandon Inge went on the disabled list and eventually had surgery.
The last 47 games of the year, Donaldson hit a very solid .290 with 8 home runs. 2-2 now.
A big double in Game 4 of the division series. In the 9th inning against Valverde, sending Reddick to third. Both scored on that guy's base hit. Seth Smith.
Now full count, so Donaldson has worked it full. Smith next, and if anybody were to get on, Sogard. So a couple of left-handed hitters.
Got a 4-3-2 counts. Felix has struck out 3 and 1 fly ball to left field on the other 3-2. This will be his 5th.
And he went with something off speed, and Donaldson swings and misses. So that is strikeout number 8 for Hernandez. Ball just dives down and in.
You just put an NC, no chance. And as a hitter, it's so frustrating. You work the count, and that's what you try to do, work the count, but then you don't get anything close to what you might be looking for in what is considered a hitter's count, 3-2.
So here is Seth Smith, who had a broken bat single in the 6th inning. Since then, Hernandez has retired 8 in a row. And he does not look like he's tired. We are going to get a little action now out in the Mariners bullpen. Charlie Furbush, a left-hander. Two teams, both with very good bullpens. Smith rips one to right field, and that's going to get down, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Picked up by Saunders, and Smith has a 2-out double. So maybe the best hit ball of the night for the Athletics.
And exactly what you want to do if you get a count in your favor. This was just a 1-0 pitch, but with 2 outs, Seth Smith looked the fastball, lift the leg, got the foot down, and crushed it to right field. Kept it on a line drive, but a very solid hit anyway. Ty Waller waving him to second, where he ends up easily with the double, but 2 outs, so it's going to be necessary for a 2-out hit to at least make it a 1-run game. Felix Hernandez with Carl Willis coming out, looking down to the bullpen. Now the right-hander gets loose.
To Stephen Pryor. The Mariners have 3 left-handers in their bullpen and 4 right-handers. So they're trying to get Hernandez through the 8th inning. A's trying to get themselves on the scoreboard. Blevins and Balfour now loosening up for the A's. First pitch to Sogard is a breaking ball that drops down and in. Sogard struck out looking in the 3rd. Fly ball to right field in the 6th. Swinging a ball in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Sogard is now 2 for 11 in his career against Hernandez.
Eric Sogard thinking like Seth Smith. 1-0 pitch. He looked fastball, started to swing. This ball just dive bombed into the dirt. Got a nice block by Montero. Seth Smith not thinking about trying to advance. 2 outs. He's already in scoring position. So you want to be a catcher.
Everyday catcher.
So he's got on the left wrist. There's no protection on the left wrist. You got the chest protector. It means nothing. The mask keep you from getting hit in the face, and the helmet for follow throughs, and shin guards for blocking balls in the dirt. But the ball will find a part of the body that's not protected.
Two and one now is Sogard with Coco Crisp hoping to get a chance to hit here in the 8th inning. Pitch number 107 coming from King Felix. It's hit down the left field line right up over top the A's bullpen to even the count at 2-2. Missed 8 hits total in the game. 5 by the Mariners, 3 by the Athletics. There's been 1 error in the game. That was on Eric Sogard. 2-2 pitch. Up high, now a full count. So the sellout crowd will get itself worked up here.
And remember, Sogard took a 3-2 fastball in his first at bat. And now they're going to talk about it, but you'd have to think that, again, Felix Hernandez is a good enough pitcher. With the runner in score position, he becomes a different pitcher. Maybe the 3rd inning, 9th hitter, perfect game on the line, he might have thrown a fastball. And this is where he can change, because there's no perfect game. He has a runner in scoring position. Does he give in? Probably not.
And he went with a breaking ball, and it drops down and in. Good take by Sogard.
See, that's what he did in the 3rd inning. He took that same pitch, and that's when he came back and threw a fastball, and that's going to be it for Felix. Eric Wedge is going to go to his bullpen, and Felix Hernandez is upset. 2 quick outs, then a double and a walk, and a manager's decision to go to the bullpen.
Hernandez, and it's going to be Charlie Furbush, the left-hander. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Hitting 2 on, 2 out. And Coco Crisp will hit against the left-hander Charlie Furbush. Had a very fine season last year for the Mariners. ERA 2.72. 53 strikeouts in 46 innings. He's got funky, quality left-handed stuff.
90-mile-an-hour fastball plus a curveball, slider, and changeup. And an interesting note on him, and I don't know if the A's would attempt it now, but stolen base success against him is very good. But he is very tough on the hitters, turns Coco around, and see what he can do from the right side, which he is very capable of doing a lot.
Smith at second, Sogard at first. Slider low. Furbush came over to the Mariners in the Doug Fister trade with the Tigers. And he takes over for Hernandez. A walk and 8 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings. Slider down and in. Turns out the Mariners got Casper Wells, Francisco Martinez, Chance Ruffin, and Furbush. And Furbush, best one of them all.
Absolutely.
And they gave up a good pitcher in Doug Fister.
And he has been great for the Detroit Tigers. Coco Crisp, couple of hard sliders, took both of them. Seager guarded the line at third against an extra base hit.
fastball for a strike. Again, I've said this many times about left-handed pitchers. That was 90 miles an hour, but it looks like it's about 95. But it's just delivery's a little funky. It's low 3/4 release. Inside now, 3-1. Jaso on deck.
Hopeful that Coco gets on, and with the lefty on the mound, it will force Bob Melvin to make a decision, and also Eric Wedge, because Derek Norris is coming in with a bat, or he's got a bat going in the on-deck circle, really kind of letting Eric Wedge know that if this guy gets on, this is who's going to be hitting.
Pitch misses outside, and the bases are loaded. All this coming with 2 outs.
Now Norris is going to be announced, and we'll see what Eric Wedge does if he goes to his right-hander. And more likely he will. But Bob Melvin's move, it's automatic. Lefty on lefty, and he got the word, and Eric Wedge is going to make the move.
Norris will hit, and he's going to hit against Stephen Pryor. So we got action here in the bottom of the 8th. The series, Jared Parker against Hisashi Iwakuma. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central, and check out csncalifornia.com. The home of A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet. The bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's going to be Derek Norris pinch hitting for Jaso.
Stephen Pryor, and you said it best about the bullpen of the Mariners, very strong back end, and they've got some hard throwers, and this is one of them. Carter Capps can throw the hardest, but Stephen Pryor can throw 97, 98 with the good fastball. Curveball, slider, and changeup, but he's got the bases loaded. Furbush could not throw a strike in his 5 pitches. And Derek Norris sit on the heater.
First pitch is an off-speed pitch that slips inside, and it's 1-0. So Stephen Pryor against Derek Norris.
Well, that's a good pitch if you can get a strike, but if not, now you're in a hole. Yep. Eventually, you're going to have to come in with your number 1. It's a good one, but just helps the hitter geared up a little bit extra.
Missed again. 2-0, not close.
Adam Rosales just a cheerleader now because he's got an injury. There is Carter Capps, the hard thrower.
by Norris. He said, I'm not waiting around. And Pryor came right at him, and Norris had a good swing. So a little country hardball right
Well,
there.
you just gear yourself for a good fastball. Look for a zone. He did. And coming off the bench, third pitch he has seen. An off speed and a couple of fastballs.
Smith, Sogard, Crisp are the runners. Ready to go on the crack of the bat. That one bounced towards second. Ackley has it. Steps on the bag side. Retired. So the A's make some noise but cannot push anything across as they leave the bases loaded. 2-0 Mariners after 8.
Play King Felix has been the king tonight. When he's gotten in trouble, he's gone to his change-up, two-seam fastball, not really giving in occasionally with a fastball. But the A's did get him out of the game. There's the 3-2 fastball to Eric Sogard. 8 strikeouts, but really did not give in that much. And King Felix, 7 2/3, wanted to finish the 8th. Did not happen, but right now the pitcher of record. 2-0 lead thanks to a couple of relievers, especially Pryor getting an out with the bases loaded.
Number 50, Kyle.
And when it's time for change, take Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Jerry Blevins comes in, 29-year-old left-hander, coming off a terrific season for the A's. 5-1 with a 2.48 ERA. Pitched in 63 games for the A's last year. An unsung hero, we think.
The unsung hero right now puts to put a 0 up as Resop did, and like to have a chance. It's going to be Will Holmson, the closer, coming in. Derek Norris stays in the game, but rather take the chance coming back from 2 down instead of adding on in this inning.
Outside corner, a strike to Kyle Seager, who has singled and struck out twice. Montero will be next, and then Ackley. So 2 lefties and a right. Breaking ball, big sweeping curve, and Seager was way out in front. Over 36,000 tonight, a sellout. It's Tom Wilhelmsen, as Ray said, big tall closer. They call him the bartender in Seattle because he was out of baseball for 5 years. What was he doing while he was out of baseball? He was bartending. He said, I want to pitch. Came back, and now he's a closer. And he's pretty good.
It's amazing, from serving to serving up. He has been excellent.
Swing and a miss. Stayed right with that sweeping curveball that Blevins has. So Seager strikes out for the 3rd time.
Brandon League was the closer for the Mariners. And Seager, no chance with this breaking ball. Very good when thrown by the tall lefty.
Jesus Montero.
The tall lefty who could eat anything he wants and not gain an ounce.
I'm jealous.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Montero has had a quiet night offensively. He has grounded out 3 times. Montero hitting in the 7th spot. For the A's in the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be Reddick, Cespedes, and Lowry. So they will have the middle of the order up. These pitchers tonight have struck out 9. Of course, Anderson struck out the first 4 hitters he faced in this game. Eight swinging, 1 looking. That one misses again. 3-1 now. Outfield straightaway and deep for Montero. He's got good power to all fields.
Like that low strike zone that Jerry Blevins was able to get the strike on Montero. Yeah, his power is unbelievable. And what's interesting about Montero, a Yankee, a young Yankee being traded to the Mariners. Mariners very happy to get the power hitter.
And he swings through that Blevins fastball, and that's out number 2.
But if Montero is still the Yankees, that might be the starting catcher, considering the changes they've made in that department. But there's just a challenge fastball, 3-1 at the lower part of the strike zone, and 3-2 right down the middle. But Cervelli, the starting catcher today for the Yankees, and Russell Martin, of course, signed with the Pirates. No more Jorge Posada, so the Yankees going with a different type of catcher, not the veteran they usually have.
Down the right field line. Ackley got jammed a little bit. I was talking to an older scout one day.
Veteran
scout.
Thank you.
And he made an interesting point about Montero. He said, you know who he reminds me of? And you would remember better than I do. Is Orlando Cepeda as a hitter.
Yeah. Opposite
right
field.
center,
right.
strong,
Yeah.
big guy, right-handed hitter.
Kind of runs like Cha-Cha did too.
Slow.
I understand he might have gotten a new knee. If that's the case, he may really be running better. But he could hit. Cha-Cha. See, when I said veteran, when you said older, B.I. said, that's right.
Who said that?
B.I.
Who?
Yeah, you know B.I. The main guy, B.I. He didn't like you saying older either. Yeah, as a child, a mere child.
Yeah. Ackley, wide open stance. Turns in. So now it's 2-2.
It's a similar batting stance that John Jaso had when we saw him towards the end of last year and then in spring training, but he closed his stance up. Seager got the knob of the bat pointing right at the pitcher. Lays it on his shoulder, points at the pitcher, and trying whatever he can.
He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Snaps on the inside corner. So here we go, folks. Can the A's do it again? Reddick, Cespedes, Lowry looking for a walk-off. It's 2-0 Seattle, headed to the bottom of the ninth. Well, the sellout crowd has stuck around, and well, they're looking for some late inning magic. Shades of 2012, maybe. Well, we shall see. Of course, last season, 14 walk-off wins. That was the most in the majors, and would it be great to do it on opening night of the very next season? We shall see. Little work to do, though, down 2-0. Tall right-hander Tom Wilhelmsen will try to close it out and get Felix Hernandez the win. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and small experts.
Another pitcher can come in and throw 95, 96 plus, and Wilhelmsen is that type of pitcher.
Also got a big overhand curve that he strike people out with. 2-0 to Reddick. Cespedes to follow, and then Lowry. Wilhelmsen is 29 years old. Side corner with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's 6'6", 220 pounds. Bounce towards second. Nice big hop for Ackley, and that's out number 1. So Reddick got ahead in the count 2-0. Ends up grounding out. So Reddick 0 for 4 tonight. And here's Yoenis Cespedes. And at this point, you need a base runner or 2. What you'd like to do is get Brandon Moss in that bat here in the 9th inning. Guy who's got as much power as anybody. Cespedes 3 ground outs, 2 to third, and 1 to short.
Right now he's looking for his first base hit, first time on base. That doesn't look good. 4 strikeouts and 5 at-bats career.
Montero took a direct shot, knocked him over.
Also, he blocked the ball from Felix Hernandez, and he took it hard on his right wrist. Eric Wedge, a former catcher himself, understands what Montero thought, and also realized he's not going anywhere because catchers usually don't want guys to come out to talk to him. That literally just knocked him back, knocked his mask off, and then the impact took him back on his backside.
Cespedes holding that hand as well.
Watch. Said Skip, I can DH.
I like that DH thing. There's that curveball from Wilhelmsen.
Good hitters can pick up the spin of a curveball. And when that happens, you can just know that if it's a hanger, your eyes light up and you crush it, as Cespedes did against Tim Lincecum, and has done in his brief major league career.
That one is fair. Right behind the bag is Seager. His throw is in time, and that's out number 2. So Cespedes 0 for 4. So Reddick and Cespedes 0 for 8 combined. Remember, the A's only have 3 hits. 2 of them by Cespedes. So it's up to Lowry to get aboard and let Moss have a swing. Lowry's 0 for 3. Down around the knees with a fastball for a strike. Strikeout, fly out, foul out for Lowry. That's the curveball, and Dana DeMuth may have missed that one. It was a good curve by Wilhelmsen. Shortstop Ryan playing Lowry toward the middle quite a bit. You see Seager, the third baseman, well over to his left about 5 steps.
The way they're playing, I think it's going to be curveballs, all speed stuff for him to pull it, because a fastball 96, 97. There's a chance Lowry might be a little bit late and hit it to left field past the third baseman.
Like that. And he was a little late on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Couple of curveballs and a fastball, just a little bit tardy.
Wilhelmsen, they're setting up inside, and the fastball runs out over the plate. So full count.
Moss would love to have a shot.
Payoff pitch to Jack Lowry. And it's just a bit outside, and Moss will indeed hit. And that's big.
Remember Lowry back in the 5th inning. He had a close pitch, thought it was ball 4, ended up flying out to left field. This time, watch as he takes this pitch. He's just going to throw his bat quickly, get rid of it, not give Dana DeMuth a chance to even think about calling a pitch. It's clearly outside. Anything but a ball.
So here's Moss. Just in case Balfour gets up. The runner goes, pitches outside, so Lowry will get to second. Moss, a strikeout, a ground out, and a foul out. Curve, and it drops in for a strike.
The old theory in this late in the game, anytime you get beat with a home run, or tie in this case. You want to stay away from a power hitter, and Brandon Moss, a power hitter. I'd love to get a ball that he could pull.
Strike didn't have to be. Moss going to spin around and go for a walk.
Well, that was a delayed call too. It's almost like when it came up, Daniel Smith said, "What am I going to do with my right arm?" Because this ball high, and there's the look back. Like, you got to be kidding me.
So now Moss behind in the count, has to battle. 1-2 pitch. Skies one, and he just missed it. And Saunders squeezes it, and that's the ball game. So the A's strand a runner in the bottom of the ninth, and the Seattle Mariners defeat the Oakland A's tonight on opening night at the Coliseum 2-0. So the A's have now lost 9 straight season openers. We'll get after it tomorrow night. Tonight, the Mariners defeat the A's 2-0. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's Post Game Live with Scott Reese, Shooty Babbitt, and Pip Roberts starts right now.